Welcome back to Cossy Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy. Welcome back to a brand new video. David Raya signs for Arsenal. According to Fabrizio Romano, it is a here we go. Like I said, it was just a matter of time. The player was going to sign before the Nottingham Forest game as we take them on Saturday. Now, according to Romano, Arsenal and Brentford have agreed a deal to sign David Raya. The player wanted the move. He actually was pushing to get the deal done, and it is finally over. We have our man. We have one of the best goalkeepers in the Premier League. And I tell you what, Arsenal have the two best goalkeepers in the Premier League. No other team in the world has two quality goalkeepers like Arsenal. Hit the like button, subscribe to the podcast as well. I want you to put your expectations and predictions for David Raya in the comment box below. Will he be our number one straight away? Will he be our goalkeeper in the Champions League? Will he be our goalkeeper in the Premier League? Let me know in the comment box below. What is your prediction? Because I think Ramsdale has lifted his standards a little bit. In the last two games, saving two penalties and also being very, very alert in those games, Ramsdale could actually be much, much better. But of course, we have our man in David Raya. Romano says there that it's already a here we go. Medical's not yet done. But they have already been booked, so we're expecting that medical. We're expecting contracts to be signed, footage to be done at the London Colney, and then he will be announced as an Arsenal player later this week. Now, one thing we've got to understand here is that this was a very good opportunity on the market, like Mikel Arteta said, and Edu, they've always said it. If there is a good opportunity on the market, Arsenal are always going to pounce and Arsenal are always going to take it. And I think that's what we've done on this David Raya deal. It was a good deal. Like, you're not going to find a good goalkeeper who is very good at saving shots, very good at playing out from the back, very good when it comes to direct long balls. Like, he's sensational. Yes, there is Andre Onana. Maybe we could talk about him in the Premier League season. But David Raya, Premier League proven as well. It was a huge opportunity on the market. And you look at all the other clubs that have actually been interested. Tottenham Hotspur, Bayern Munich, Chelsea, Man United. Those are top tier clubs. Those are Champions League clubs. Actually, all the clubs that have wanted Raya this summer, Arsenal is the only club that have not been in the Champions League in the last 7 years. That shows you the quality of goalkeeper he is, and that shows you that almost he walks into every top side. Apart from maybe Liverpool, I would say he doesn't maybe overtake Liverpool's Alisson. He also maybe doesn't overtake Onana because Onana is that good. But apart from those teams, he actually walks into every other Premier League side. Now, this signing for me, in my opinion, it makes our window 8 out of 10. Like, you've signed one of the best defensive midfielders in the world in Declan Rice. You've signed Kai Havertz. You've signed one of the best centre backs in the world in world football in the modern game in Julian Timber. And then you've brought in one of the best goalkeepers as well. This is an 8 out of 10 winner. This could be a 10 out of 10 if we can get rid of Pepe, if we can get rid of all these players that Mikel Arteta is not going to be using. This is a real superb window. This is a very, very good superb window. But what do we actually expect to see? What kind of changes are we going to see, especially when we see David Raya in an Arsenal shirt? Number one, it's going to be about competition. It's going to be pushing Aaron Ramsdale. And Mikel Arteta has actually talked about it. He said, we want to push every player. We want to make sure that there is competition in every position. We are not looking at having two players per position. We are trying to create competition in every position. So you look at that left hand side. Trossard plays there. Kai Havertz can play there. Gabriel Martinelli is superb. Smith Rowe is very good. And if I decided to play Bukayo Saka there, he can actually do that because he's actually left-footed. So that is what Mikel is trying to do. So in midfield, you have Partey, Rice, Jorginho. At centre forward, you have Kai Havertz who can play there. You have Edin Ketia and Gabriel Jesus. The competition is there. And one of the positions where we lack that kind of competition, where we lack that kind of assurance that there is a good second choice, has been in goal. If you take away Aaron Ramsdale and you bring in Matana, there is a huge difference. I mean, the difference has been really visible, and so many people have not been really confident in Matana starting in goal when Aaron Ramsdale is maybe injured, out, or something like that, or being rotated. So it's going to be about competition, and I think we're going to see two very world-class goalkeepers competing at the very best. I expect Aaron Ramsdale to get much better. I expect David Raya to even get better because he's coming into a side that is definitely going to be keeping the ball much better than Brentford. So he's going to be playing for a side that will give him more passing options. He's going to be playing for a side that is really at the top of the world right now. Now, as a goalkeeper, this is why Arsenal brought him in. First and foremost, as a goalkeeper, primarily, you've got to keep the shots out. You've got to keep the ball out of the back of the net. And that is one of the things he actually does very well. Last campaign, he was among the top 5 goalkeepers out of 20, by the way, in the Premier League for shots saved and XG saved. So literally it means that he's saving more... his numbers are crazy. He's saving more shots than expected. Ramsdale is saving less shots than expected of him. So that is one of the reasons why you want to bring in David Raya. These simple goals, these cheap goals, those crazy goals that should not be getting into the back of the net, in my opinion, you will have stopped them when you sign a player like David Raya. But the other advantages that Arsenal have just gotten themselves by signing Raya, the short passes. Now, we want to play out from the back. And one of the reasons why Manchester City do play out from the back very well is the goalkeepers. You saw Ortega literally coming out of his penalty area and, he was encroaching on that line where Kai Havertz and Martin Odegaard were pressing from. That means that he's confident. That means that he's so okay with... having the ball at his feet, as long as players are giving him passing options, as long as players are confident around him. So I think this is what David Raya will do. He will be coming out of his penalty area to play with the likes of Timber, Rice, who's going to be dropping a little bit deeper initially before progressing, high up the pitch. The likes of Odegaard, who at times as well drops a little bit into those deeper areas. So it's one thing we're going to see. A lot of passing from the back, a lot of ease when it comes to Arsenal beating and overcoming that fast press of teams. I think one of the best teams with the fast press, let me see. In the Premier League, again, I would say Brentford. They are one of the best teams with that initial press. With Ivan Toney, Brian Buemo, they are absolutely, phenomenal. So still, I expect him to help us beat that initial press, that first line of defense of the opponents, and then progress. But then the other things that we are going to get from him is that direct play. Now, I said this. When we were previewing the Manchester City game, we've got to go direct. There are games where we're going to have to go direct, especially in the UEFA Champions League. For example, if you play Barca and they're at the Camp Nou and they have more possession, for example, up to 67% more possession, you might need to go long, you might need to go direct. Now, we have some good players that can actually, pin those balls, like Jorginho is good at that, Partey is good at that, Rice is okay with that. But I don't think we are like Liverpool, who have Virgil van Dijk. I don't think we are like City, who have your Ruben Dias something. So one thing he's going to add to this Arsenal side is you literally don't see that long ball from deeper areas, especially from deep in the defense, finding Martinelli, finding Saka. That ball is going to be important this season. That ball is going to be very, very key because teams know the way we play. And I will discuss later why Mikel Arteta needs to have a plan B. So teams will know how we play. And David Raya is going to be some kind of a cheat code in games. So when we play out from the back and all the passing lanes have been closed down by the opponent, we can easily go direct. He will hit that ball. It will fly over the midfield and it will land into Kai Havertz, Gabriel Jesus, Martinelli, or Saka. That one pass is going to create huge chances, huge space, and open up a lot of opportunity for us in the final third of the opponent. So that's one thing Raya is going to give us, that kind of ability to go long, just to progress further up the pitch with one ball. The other thing, of course, you're going to get is, I've talked about the long balls, but also the accuracy. So Saliba, I think, has it in him. He's got that good ball that flies over the top. I think Gabriel is a ball-playing centre-back. Jakub Kiwior, like I said, is going to be our... I just gave you my predictions. No, the video is not yet up. But Jakub Kiwior is going to be a very, very important player for us. But with David Raya, that long ball passing accuracy is going to increase. For example, if we are being pinned in, and our most advanced player is Saka, and we want to catch we want to catch the opposition on the break. One player that's actually going to help us do that is Raya, because he can play those long balls, like I said, but then his accuracy is also very, very good. But then we're also going to have a more comfortable goalkeeper in position. I mean, it sounds right. David Raya signs for Arsenal. Hit the like button, subscribe to the podcast as well. Let me know in the comment box below what you think about Raya signing for the club and the debate between him and Ramsdale. Where do we stand? Because now we are not saying if he signs, we're saying when will he start his first game. I'll see you right in the next one.